As we're driving towards the yard, it dawns on us that it's our yard that's on fire. I've tried to jump in the crane and try and move, especially the scrap in the centre of the yard out the way, so the fire engine can get direct access to it. Within about 5 minutes, had 9 fire engines there, 2 other fire engines with massive like cherry pickers on, so the firemen could attack the flames from above. As you've just seen, fires are a detrimental part to the scrap metal industry. There's many, many ways they can start, such as gas bottles, lithium-ion batteries, sparks off your steel saw and cutting instruments, not depolluting a car correctly, lead acid batteries cracking. What else?
I think you named all the suspects.
There we go. So you've got to imagine, in that pile of scrap there, we could have potentially hundreds and hundreds of batteries out of items like a drill or anything that can be recharged that under enough pressure cracks can start a fire. And although that pile there is just technically a load of steel, there's so much contaminants in it through your washing machines and your plastics and things. When they catch, they really, really catch, and you can't put them out. We had a fire March last year, wasn't it, roughly? And it not only wrecked the yard for like the 48 hours the fire brigade were here trying to put it out, it also made us have a huge amount of downtime and damaged not only the wall and the units next door which we own, but also the machine, and it's just a lot of stress and aggro. Tell them about that big fire extinguisher just trying to pull in and they broke the handle on it. Go on, it's funny.
It's not that funny, is it?
It is. It is now it's over. I'm all right.
I can't have it.
You can.
I tried to use it, but I couldn't use it.
Yeah, it's funny. The handle came off. We did 1,000 quid in them, and no, we look at this little thing.
No, me, I do.
You don't. So, I think you should now say, I bet you're expecting us to show you the machine up and running, but it's not. And then we can go why.
Right, you ready? I bet you're expecting us to show you the machine up and running, but it's not, and we'll show you why.
Literally word for word.
Yeah. Right, so in case the worst happens and there is a fire, we've called Ardentin, who are building a suppression system onto the TAURUS. It's a twin agent system, which is wet and powder.
Right, come with us and we'll show you on the machine exactly what the Ardent system is going to do. Well, I'm not that tall, come up here, that's better. Right, all over the machine we've got 6 canisters, both full of foam and dry agent powder to put out the fires. The foam is for all the hot surfaces in the engine bay and places like that. For example, the turbo and the pipes coming out the engines can get really, really hot levels. So any flammable liquids that might go onto them will instantly cause a fire. The powder will be for the cushion area and the head of the machine where there's any liquid. So for example, if a car has extra oil in it that we didn't depollute correctly or was left in there, the powder's not only going to condense that liquid into not being flammable anymore, but it'll also stop this fire spreading.
There are 20 nozzles all around the engines of the machine, which will squirt out the powder.
That's what she said.
And water, to hopefully to save the machine and put the fire out. We're going to do some dancing.
Yeah.
There's one, there's one, there's one, and there's one. There's one. There's one. There's one.
So running all throughout the machine is a really fine set of wires that are designed with any heat to melt first. That will short the circuit on the fire suppression system, which will set it off. It will have a few manual activation points, but they have to be placed correctly and like responsibly, because you don't want somebody accidentally setting them off. The engineers just said once it's been activated, you don't want to be stood within 50 metres of the thing, because there's that much powder and liquid shot at it in one big blast. I think he said something like there's a minute's worth of foam and powder, which should pretty much put out any fire. So yeah, these wires are going through the whole of the machine, all of the nooks and crannies, which is why it's taken us a few days to actually get it installed. But it's just a preventative measure against the fire, and the cost afterwards, which is what really, really kills businesses off. It's not so much the fire damage, you're not really going to do much damage to a bit of steel, but it's all of the electric wires, the O-rings, the seals, all this is a hydraulic machine. If any of those go on a ram, you're gonna have to take the whole ram out and get it refurbed, and it's a bloody nightmare.
You're like a natural, yeah?
Yeah, I am. Call me ant to your deck, you know what I mean?
You're like Philip Scrapyard, aren't you?
Itchy and scratchy. Hang on. Pinky in the brain, that'd be a good one. But who's who? I can see them cogs turning for an insult back. Nothing's coming.
Sometimes it's best to say nothing. Right, are we done?
No, we've got to do explain the difference between the last fire and this fire. And then
Go
outro,
on,
that's it.
go on, done.
Cheers, mate. Another update since the new TAURUS has been in. Now we can process all of the heavier shearing into our 1 and 2. We don't need a massive shearing pile anymore. We've ordered some more blocks so we can make some more bays to keep our higher grade steel separate. We're going to have a nice new bay, clean, organised for steel swarf, steel cuttings, and then we can have, if any extra OA or nice big heavy girders come in that we don't want to process, we can put separately then and keep the yard nice and organised. So it's been a bit of a mess for the last 6 months with no shear, extra busyness and just ramming it full of everything. But I'm looking forward to getting back on top of it and having it all organised so it'll run more efficiently and easier. Remember, we've got to get these tatters in and out as fast as possible, so they need as much space as possible. That's our main port of call for getting all this side of the yard organised now. Get the bales and the cars done with the new shear, and everything will be running fantastico, as Federico would say. I can see it so clearly in his last song subscription.
Really?
Yeah.
Want to wear into rugby so you can catch the ball?
Don't start, man. I missed the ball once, right, about 3 games ago. Bounced off my chest in their 22. The opposite players caught it and ran the whole pitch and scored.
Once 3 games ago?
Yeah.
3 times.
I'm the MVP, I'm the glue that holds that team together, mate. You know what I mean? You haven't even played in 2 weeks.
Right, anyway, the last time we had a fire, there's a lot of disruption. It damaged the roof next door. There's a lot of downtime, so hopefully this preventative measure will help.
We had the full greasing system on the last Lafort catch fire. Melted the grease pot, melted all the wires, and it was the downtime of waiting for the parts to come and the engineers to come out and fix it, which really killed us. Because we've only just had the machine up and running, we've only been processing for 2 days, we booked the fire suppression system to be installed as soon as possible to limit downtime. We didn't want to run the machine for a month, get into it, see the money coming in, see the scrap going out, and then have to shut it off for 5 days. But we'll bite the bullet, get it all done as quick as possible, and then after this week, it's to be just straight through it.
Where are you this on this week?
I'll be enjoying myself in France.
He's off again.
Doing a bit of doing some skiing.
Time to do some work and you've done it, yeah.
Hang on, tell the viewers this. Who had the most days off last year?
You?
No one ever. Who beat me by 1.5 days?
How many honeymoons did you have?
I had 2 honeymoons. I could have had 17 honeymoons, but you beat me. Richard had 1.5 days more days off than me last year. We've got a record, it's all on facts.
I never switch on, have I?
My phone's always pinging.
I do 2 hours a day more than you as it is.
No, you don't.
Morning, night.
Yeah, you got a 12 minutes.
Half 4 every day.
day.
Gym, gone, gotta go.
You don't go to the gym at
You
all.
get ready
You
at 4.
you don't even know there's 2 4 o'clocks in the day.
Who's Jim?
So a fairly factual and boring episode. I apologise, the machine's not working. I know everybody wants it, crushing everything. We have got one more thing to make it up to though, so if you follow me downstairs, we'll get that going now. And then we're going to both jump down together and walk towards the camera. That's it.
Oh, no, I can't do this.
Very nimble. You're not looking on the top one?
No.
Why not?
This will do, mate.
You're not scared of heights? You're scared of heights, are you? Are you actually? I didn't know that. God. I feel like Luke Skywalker on the high ground. Excuse me, mate. I don't know whether your gaffer's told you, but We do a YouTube channel, but that would require you if you were comfortable to do it.
Yeah, I'm not really a YouTube man myself. What, there's another boy coming tomorrow though.
Would you be able, my cameraman's not here.
So, as a prevention, we have called in Ardent, fire protection people, to put a suppression system on the Taurus to save us, really, in case there's a fire.
What else did they do if there's a fire?
Oh, let me start again, man. I can't do that. Don't blame.
Well, come on. There we go. All over the machine, there is about 6, no, what are they called? What are they called? Canisters, that's it. So. I'm helping.
Right, you ready then?
I'm always ready. Are you ready?
Let me think. The last time we had a fire, it caused a lot of disruption, not only downtime, but the units next door, the roof melted really, and can't really say that, can I? Why not? Let me just start again. Right.